On this episode of Performance TV, Tommy and Kathy check out more ARP products. This truck gets a new look, and we've got a new product to help you gear up for winter.
Welcome to Performance TV. I'm Tommy Johnson Jr. Today's show, I want to talk about ARP, the world's leader in fastener technology. I've used ARP throughout my racing career and even today, driving a funny car at over 300 miles per hour. I not only trust these bolts when I'm driving the car, but my crew trust them. We tear these engines apart every single time after a trip down the track. The guys got to know the fasteners are not going to fail them.
Well, you know, with an engine like yours, or you're running, you know, whether it's 10,000 horsepower or whether it's something like 1,500 to 2,500 horsepower like mine, you want to know that it's going to stay together. And with a dragster and everything being out in the open, yes, I like it to look good too. And that's why for years, at any engine we have assembled, like my 620 that I have right now, we're using one of these dress-up kits on it.
I knew you'd like this shiny stainless finish here. I like the black oxide myself, but
right.
You know.
Well, and not only that too, when you kind of pointed back here at some of these, if you need just, oh man, I forgot to get that or whatever, you need an individual bolt for a certain application, you can do that, or you can order the kit. And the kit is really cool. You call up ARP and you say, hey, this is the engine combination that I have. You know, they send you, it's one part number, everything comes in the box. And what is also really cool, everything is marked, whether it's the fuel pump, it's the intake manifold, whatever, and it's all nice and packaged well from ARP.
This kit right here is a 12-point head kit. They also make a hex head, a 6-point. So you have options. You can get color, you can get the different socket size, you can get chrome. I know you like chrome.
Well, yes, and you know, we're talking about how everything looks, but what it comes down to is the job that ARP is going to do for you. And it starts right with the fact that everything is made in the USA, in-house.
Yes, it's the quality of ARP. If you have a bolt, something odd you need, you can call their engineering department. They can manufacture whatever you need for whatever application you have.
You know, and if you're changing something around, ARP, stronger than the OEM application bolts. They're also stronger than what you would think of grade 8.
That's why we use it.
Absolutely. Like I said, when you're dealing with 10,000 horsepower or whatever, and you want to do it right the first time. And speaking of doing something right, when you're putting together like a show engine, why wouldn't you want to do ARP?
We've got one here. We're going to put some header bolts on it. Let's go do it.
All right, let's go. We've already got a lot changed over on this, from the timing cover to the water pump and the intake. And on this particular application, we've decided to go with all of the 12-point.
Yeah, grab that side.
All right.
Get started.
You know, and then I'm putting bolts in here, but Tommy, sometimes in certain applications, hey, you don't have any room in ARP, we can do studs too.
That's true. You notice we going with the stainless 12-point here. This matches what we've done on the rest of the engine. Plus, this is a show car engine. You don't want to use a stock bolt. It's going to rust. But they also have the black finish if you want to go and black something all out.
Oh, yes. We know that you love your black oxide.
I do. I like it all blacked out. That's a little tight one there.
You know, no matter what your application is, as we were mentioning earlier, they have something for everything, whether it's just, you know, your single packs like you have here, the complete engine dress-up kits. And if you want to check it all out, you can just go to their website, arp-bolts.com.
All right, let's get these in there and get them tightened up.
Okay.
Got it. Get that one started.
Yeah,
right.
I'm trying to get that one in there. That one's being a little booger. Being a little booger. You know what, we'll go ahead and this one in there.
Get it ratchet on it, help you out there.
Sometimes that gasket just wants to fight you back
Oh,
there
yeah.
a little bit. There we go, that helps. We'll go ahead and get these tightened up, and we have a whole lot more coming up here on Performance TV.
All right, looking good.
Yep.
You got to do valve cuts.
I know, that's the next step, one thing at a time.
This edition of Performance TV, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology. AMS, because we care. Armor Thane, protecting your world. Diesel Domination, get 4 to 7 mile per gallon gains today. And by AGE Suspension, committed to quality and affordability since 1990.
Welcome Welcome back to Performance TV. If you own a pickup truck like this Toyota Tundra, you're gonna haul stuff, and what happens? You scratch up the bed. You got a beautiful truck and an ugly looking bed. Well, I'm with Jack Anderson of Thane, and he's gonna put the beauty back in our bed. Now, Jack, there's spray-on bed liners, there's drop-in ones. We're gonna do a spray-on today. Tell me the advantage of that.
Advantage of a spray-on liner is when we spray it in, it's gonna make a perfect seal in our bed. It's not going to be as slippery as far as holding our load when we brake or accelerate fast. Biggest disadvantage to a drop-in liner is it's in there, it's looking good, you think you're protecting the paint, but when you go to take it out, you find out that drop-in liner is moved around on the floor.
Yeah, it's going to scratch it up.
Scratched it up. A lot of times it's removed all the paint, so now you have bare metal. Water, dirt, corrosives get underneath of there.
Even salt on the roads
Salt
in the
on the
winter.
road in the winter. And so when you pull your drop-in out, you'll oftentimes find that it would have probably been better off had it not been in there because of the damage that it's actually done to the bed.
Wow. Now, we're going to put a spray-on bed liner on this truck today, and obviously there's going to be some prep work, so let's get started.
Okay, before we start grinding and prepping our bed, we're going to go ahead and remove the last of the hardware in here.
All right, get all the hooks out of it.
We're going to take the tie downs out.
Now, what about these bed bolts that hold the bed on? Are we going to remove those as well?
We're not going to remove them on this particular truck because the owner has chosen to leave them in. The Thane will seal around them and make a good seal on the floor. However, on some of the trucks, the bed bolts need to be pulled for a service issue. So in this case, the owners opted to leave them in.
All right, less work.
Less work.
All right, once we get these tie downs out, what's next step? Tailgate?
We'll go to the tailgate. When we get to our tailgate, we're going to check and make sure we don't have any wiring from the tailgate to the bed for backup cameras or backup sensors. Make sure we have all our wires unplugged, and then we'll take and remove our tailgate.
All right, we got our tailgate off, and we're ready to tape it off, but we're going to remove this panel, Jack. Now, why are we removing this panel?
Well, if we left the panel in place and sprayed the bed or the tailgate with Thane, we would seal this panel to the tailgate, and unfortunately mechanical parts have a way of breaking.
You couldn't get in there to get them out.
So if we had an issue in here, we wouldn't be able to get this panel off.
All right, so we're just going to space it up.
So we're going to take this panel loose, we're going to tape the linkage rods and the lock, and then we got these trick little wood blocks here. When we actually spray it, we're going to have it spaced up away from the tailgate. We'll still get our Thane around the inspection cover and the tailgate, but when we're done spraying, we'll take our blocks out. We can
put it back on.
Put it back down. It's removable.
All right. Well, you're ready to tape.
I'm ready to tape.
Well, we saw all the work that went into prep of the tailgate, but Jack, now we've got to tape off the bed. Where are we going to tape at?
Okay, we're going to start with our wide tape. We're going to wrap it around this edge. We're going to go clear around the bed. We're going to take our narrow tape and we're going to go just behind the crown back here around the tailgate opening.
All right. Well, then I'm going to tape off the bolts that will hold the tonneau cover on, put them back in so we don't get any liner inside the bolt holes.
Yes.
And then we've got to rough up this surface because it's not going to stick if we don't rough it up, correct?
Correct.
All right. Then we'll wipe it out with acetone. And then all that's left, drape the plastic, and we're ready to spray.
You betcha.
Once Jack has finished masking the bed, he will cover the rest of the truck with plastic to prevent any damage, and he will start spraying. We'll have that when Performance TV returns.
This week's industry update is a very simple remedy to a congested garage.
Yeah, nowadays the cars are getting bigger. Seems like the garages are getting smaller. When you pull your car in, you're real close to the front wall. You don't want to put a hole in it and hit it with your bumper and knock a hole in the wall. Here's a simple solution to a common problem.
Yeah.
It's called the parking target. You place this on the floor, you pull your tire up to it, you're at the same spot every time. You're not going to hit the wall. Now, it's really easy to put on the garage floor. Let me show you. You just peel the adhesive tape back like this, find where your car is going to be, locate it in the garage, perfect spot, put it on the floor, push down, it's stuck. Same spot every time you pull into your garage and park your car.
Well, you know, and you mentioned about not going through the garage or parking too close together, but you know that you're already in. So you can go ahead,
That's right.
hit that garage door really fast when it's snowing or doing whatever and get that done, you know. both mom and dad need to have one too. What do you
Right,
think?
you can get them if you go to their website, parkingtarget.com.
That's right, the little stickers just come along with it, which is actually kind of cool for all of your different parking spots. Made in the USA, from the box to the product itself.
Very simple design, easy to use. I don't know why everybody doesn't have one. You can put one in everybody's stocking this Christmas.
Yep, just put it right down. Make sure you're using these inside though, and on a nice smooth cement floor. Check them out today, parkingtarget.com.
Performance TV, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Performance TV. Well, now that Tommy and Jack have all the prep work done, now we get a chance to get into the fun part, to really making it look good. First of all, I don't understand why Tommy's used to getting in a fire suit all the time. I'm not sure why he's not the one that's back there doing all that. But anyway, Hank, operations manager for Armor Thane. We're putting black today on the pickup truck, but that's just one of a many plethora of colors that you guys offer. And, you know, all of the different things you guys can apply this to.
That's really the neat part. Actually, that's why we brought the mobile unit today to do this work. We can do something in the shop, that's great. We have the ability to take it so much more beyond trucks. Trucks to heavy equipment, to work in marine applications, to residential and other commercial work. You can even take it down to the Texas oil fields and spray spill containment around tank batteries and drilling sites.
Wow.
Anywhere that there's something that needs to be protected, our materials do a great job.
Protected, and you know, like the steps, like even putting the stuff on a deck or something like that. Now the prep would be a little bit different, you know. And when you think about they have the mobile unit, and you can do this in a shop. Hey, this sounds like a great business opportunity.
It really is. There's a lot of applications that are opening up, and a lot of ability that people have to take it and go somewhere with it and do a new application or expand an industry. We do, like I said, everything from marine applications to spill containment. There's plenty of opportunities around, and we're just looking for people who have that get up and go to take it out there and find the next one.
Now keep in mind that spraying a truck bed can take a while, so we asked Jack to fill us in on some of the tips and techniques he uses with Armor Thane.
A lot of places that the applicators will miss is the area up underneath the bed rail. And so that's why that's one of the first areas that we show our dealers how to spray or what to spray, is to stand behind the truck bed and spray up underneath of that rail before stepping to the side and actually spraying the side panel. Getting enough thickness around the edges. We like to have a full 1/4 inch around the tailgate opening and around the edge of the tailgate. And usually on the average pickup truck, you'll spray the sidewalls 3 to 4 coats, on the floor sometimes 6 to 8 to get your mill thickness that you require. When you get the bed done, then you go back to the tailgate and you'll finish it up with your 3rd and your 4th coat. For the most part, the plastic or rubber pieces in the front of the bed were an access hole to get it down the assembly line at the plant. There's never anything behind them. So we always ask the customer and or the dealer, do you want them sprayed over, do you want to take them out? We prefer to spray them over because they're made to slip over a piece of thin sheet metal. So when you put 3/16 coating on the bed, then the plugs never stay in, they never look right. And so it's best if they don't have a preference to spray them over. There's what's called a texture coat. When you get done spraying a truck liner, you'll have shiny spots, rough spots, not so rough spots, and the texture is what goes over it from a distance of 5 to 6 feet, and it's kind of, you're sprinkling the droplets over. What you're gaining is 2 things. You're making it all look the same, and that's where you get your slip resistance. A bed liner with no texture will be slippery when wet, won't hold the cargo load very well. So based on what the truck is going to actually be used for, there's degrees of texture. You can texture it real severe, or you can put a real fine texture on. So, and that, like I said, that's all done from 6 to 8 feet with the gun just moving slowly back and forth over the bed.
Now that we have the final finished product all done, look how nice and smooth it is. It contours nice with the bed. It's going to keep this truck bed looking beautiful no matter what you haul in your truck.
This week's quarter-mile quiz question comes from John in Maine. John wants to know, why do some Top Fuel and Funny Car teams push the car by hand through the burnout box?
What we do is when you see all the crew members pushing the cars, or like the top fuel or funny cars through the burnout, what we're doing is we're trying to push the cars slow through the water, where the water doesn't get up all over the place by us driving through it really fast by letting the clutch out. And the less that we're on the clutch, the more consistent we can keep our clutch temperature down, where the clutch will do the same thing lap after lap. So we try to do very little with the clutch out in the car until we actually give it full wide open gas going down the racetrack, so we can keep the clutch temperature down so the car can replicate and do the same thing lap after lap. Going fast and efficient is how you win drag races.
If you have a question for the ARP quarter mile quiz, send it to the address on your screen. If we use your question on the air, you'll receive an ARP quarter mile quiz shirt.
This week's industry update, Tommy, a lot of people are doing LS motor swaps, and that's what we're talking about today, and dressing one up a little bit.
Well, ARP has just a thing for it. If you're going to do a motor swap, it might be a daily driver. You don't want to put a lot of chrome, you don't want to put a lot of flash on it. But ARP has a solution to kind of jazz it up a little bit, plus the quality of ARP fasteners, they are superior to everybody on the market. They have a complete kit for the LS here. Every bolt you're going to need, you're going to put this on an LS motor, you're going to have all the nice bolts, they're going to look good, plus you're not going to have any failures. I mean, it doesn't have to be flashy, but that's a good looking bolt. ARP builds quality stuff.
Absolutely, and we're even taking a step well above the OEM strength and quality. And with the stainless, if it is a daily driver, whatever, and it has to sit outside in the elements, you're not going to have to worry about it. And you have lots of different choices on whether you're going with the 12-point or the hex head or whatever you want to do. All coming in one kit, makes it nice and easy. You just tell them what motor you're running.
That's right, they got everything. I mean, they got the thermostat, the motor mount, everything you need for your engine, all in one kit, simple, easy, no running to the bolt store trying to find what you need. It's all right here for you.
Absolutely, and of course, coming with the fastener assembly lube, the ARP Ultra Torque, it's all right here. And if you want to find out more, just check out arp-bolts.com, and that's this week's industry update.
This edition of Performance TV, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by Eisenmacher Specialty Tools, professional tools for the professional technician. Engine Tech, the engine builder source. Lifetime LED Lights, your one-stop for LED lights and LED light bar products. Seal Floorboards, now that's a floorboard. And by Quality Aerosols, quality under pressure.
Welcome back to Performance TV. That truck bed looks nice and is going to be well protected against the elements this winter. If you're like me, I hate the winter season, but Kathy has something that might make this year a little easier.
Winter is certainly not one of my favorite seasons. Yeah, it can be pretty and all, but it can also be brutal. And when you're a little vertically challenged, as I am, try to go out and clean off 4 to 5 inches of heavy, wet snow. Not get it all over you. Trying to do this, pull it off with one of these old things. You know what? There is got to be something that is so much better, simpler than using one of these. And Rick, looks like you got something right there.
Hi, Kathy. I think you're asking for the Blizzerator. The Blizzerator is the first ever design ergonomic snow brush with patent pending angles of attack. It's the winner of the Popular Mechanics Editor's Choice Award for Design and Innovation. What they did was they turned around and increased the brush size to 12 inches instead of 8. They put a squeegee that doubles as a brush protector over the top of the bristles to avoid that from happening.
Yeah, because this thing is absolutely trashed, and that's where it's going right now.
This will last a long time. It locks in 4 positions, and it extends to 55 3/4 inches.
Now, something I noticed, and it's a little subtle, but this doesn't look like it is absolutely straight and flat. Looks like it's got a little arc to it.
Not at all. There are patent pending angles of attack at either end that allow the operator to push and pull snow from across their chest and shoulder. No more having to extend their arms over their head.
Yeah.
This uses a small group of muscles. You end up with a stiff neck when you're pushing heavy snow.
Absolutely.
Now you can plow 4 to 6 inches of snow off with it. In addition, it also contours to the vehicle. Vehicles are not square, so when you're using a straight brush and you are vertically challenged, the likelihood for you to have contact with this brush to the finished surface of your car is strong. With the Blizzerator, you eliminate that completely.
Yeah, because I don't like anything coming in contact with the paint of the vehicle. I like to keep my vehicles nice. And with this, so much simpler, and we can just open it up. You know, something else I was thinking about too as we were showing the roof of the car. It's not only about cleaning off and being able to stay away from it as the snow is falling off. But also, hey, in a lot of states, it's a law that you need to clean off the roof of your vehicle. What did you say that was called again?
Missile laws.
The missile laws. And you should be cleaning off your headlights and everything. And heck, half the time, you know, with using the little brush like I've been using, I'm already wore out, soaked. I don't feel like cleaning everything else off, but you need to. And this is going to make it so much easier to do so. You know, we used to have to
Open the car
door up to be able to stand inside. You're not going to have to do that.
Stand inside, clean off the roof, and you end up with a pile of snow on the seat.
Yeah, on the seat. That's exactly what you want after you're already soaked.
No more of that.
But you don't have to worry about that anymore. And I mean, this could just take this right off. You know, but we don't always have snow to deal with. We also have ice. And you've thought about that too.
Exactly.
And how easy this is to take this off. You want to get up? Close, personal, scrape this off, some of that really hard stuff that we have, like after freezing rain or whatever, it is all there. And you know, you've done a lot of testing with this too.
Yes, we have. We actually launched it up into near space. It went up 96,224 feet.
Really?
The reason being is that it had to go through the jet stream, so it had to withstand winds of over 120 miles per hour. Plus the temperature was minus 70 degrees Fahrenheit. When it rises to that level, the balloon pops and it comes down gently on a parachute. Usually. That's not what happened this time. The rigging for the parachute got messed up when the balloon exploded. So the Blizzerator came falling to Earth at over 67 miles per hour, hitting the treetops at over 67 miles per hour without a scratch.
Wow. And that is something like, you know, you mentioned temperature too. Of course, we're going to be using this in very brutal temperatures, but we still want this to be able to be a little pliable as it's, you know, floating across our vehicle.
Exactly, exactly. Well, the most important part is when you have the heavy, crunchy snow, the squeegee will actually cut into it. It's weighted so that you don't have to apply pressure. If you have light, fluffy snow, you remove the squeegee, just use the brushes.
Hey, if we want to find out about how we can get a hold of one of these, you know, maybe stick one in each one of our vehicles, is there a website we can hop on?
Absolutely. You can go to Blizzerator.com. You can see the videos and you can place an order or even ask questions. Anything you need to know, Blizzerator.com.
That's all the time we have today on Performance TV. Lots of great products that I hope are helpful to you, and lots more coming up next week. So for Kathy and myself, we'll see you right here on Performance TV.